guys, and welcome back to Making Spirituality Real. Today we're going to do another pick a card tarot reading, and the theme of this pick a card is going to be your karma, the karmic debt that you come with into this life, and the appropriate talents that you have to pay off your karmic debt and to get your karma back on track. Now, before we go towards the piles, you can already actually think of choosing them while looking at those runes while I do the introduction, but first we need to have a few clarifications about the concept of karma and how I'm using this in this video. Astrologically, when it comes to karma, you can look at your astrological chart, your natal chart, and look at the position of Saturn. And also, if like me, you practice Vedic astrology, you can look at your D10 chart and also set the Saturn's position and the whole chart over there. These placements are going to show you in which areas of life are you obliged to perform some sort of karmic task, some sort of karmic duty, and how this is going to work. But also remember that no matter what kind of karma do you bring into the world with you, you always have appropriate talents and you get the appropriate means to fulfill your duties in this area. So karma basically is like a job you need to get done, but you get the necessary training. The universe gives you the training and it gives you the tools to continue with the job. So what is karma? Karma is the area of our lives where, for the purpose of our growth and the purpose of energetic understanding and expansion, which is always the main goal of the universe, energetic understanding and expansion. For this purpose, in this area of our lives, we need to expect nothing and give everything. We need to put in the maximum effort and stay humble and accept the natural tempo, the natural rhythm that Saturn provides, and humble our egos and allow ourselves to be shaped, to be sculpted by the relentless pressure of Saturnian gravity and influence. Now, especially when it comes to your D10 chart in Vedic astrology, it's going to be very specific as to what area of your life is influenced by this energy, and some astrologers don't use nakshatras in divisional charts. I personally like to do that. So I'm going to give you my example to show you how accurate this can be. In my D10, my Saturn is in the 12th house, which is the house of spirituality, foreign languages, travel, but also the house of the highest energetic expenses and the house of compassion and union and connection. And I have this Saturn in the 12th house in Pisces in Revati Nakshatra. Revati Nakshatra is the highest peak of the Mercury ruled nakshatras, and it has to do with the energy of spreading your Piscean energy around in the community, among people, which is why you see some famous performers or singers with this nakshatra in their moon in their regular D1 chart. So this honestly is very accurate because throughout my life I always worked jobs which have included either foreign languages or foreign travel. For example, I used to work as a tour pilot in a historical museum and also in an airline, but also as a tutor, translator, interpreter, and these were all jobs that have to do with faraway foreign lands. And now I'm a spiritual healer, which again is also a very 12th house theme, but always also because of the Revati Nakshatra in Pisces, my job was to spread my own energy, my own intuitive understanding to those around me. So you can see how accurately this nakshatra has been working in my life, and it has been my karmic debt to do so. Now, the other interesting thing is that I have given you an example of my jobs. In nowadays modern society, most often where we feel Saturn's pressure the heaviest is the job, the traditional career that we pick in our lives. However, historically necessarily, it did not have to be this way, especially since a few hundred years ago, women were not even allowed to work. So more so than an actual job or profession that you will pick, it just includes the style, the type of the energy that will be applicable when it comes to you paying off your karmic debt in this life, in this lifetime, in this incarnation. So Saturn here, the karma here, is going to be basically showing you the style in which you have to dedicate yourself and be humble, and you will see the results over time. Also, another personal experience I can tell you with Saturn in the 12th house in the D10 chart is that even outside of my job, even outside of my profession, I have always been a healing presence also in the personal life of my friends and family. And the 12th house is the house of the deepest spiritual healing, but also the house that requires a lot of effort on our part. And I've always been someone who sacrificed a lot and who gave a lot to her family, friends, and close ones. Someone who basically had the urge to energetically share my source, my light with the collective at large. This being in Revati Nakshatra. So at school, even before I started my actual career, I was already a pillar for my friends and classmates. And as per the Revati energy, I was sharing my energy, spreading it around my environment more so in a collective way, as per my karmic depth. Saturn is also the area where we labor tirelessly without necessarily achieving immediate results. So kind of like with your regular job in the working world, you work for a whole month and then you get a salary at the end of the month. You don't necessarily get millions every day of your life, unless you're that lucky, in which case good for you. I wish it upon all of you. The purpose with Saturn is that it doesn't mean you don't get any rewards out of the Saturn. It means that Saturn makes you wait for these results. Saturn is a little bit of a sadist, a little bit of a delayed gratification going on here. And then if you have done well, Saturn is going to reward you appropriately as per your karma. However, whatever in our life that is touched by our karmic depth is something that we're going to have to work for, is something that's going to make us wait, something that's going to teach us patience and humility. So if Saturn is very heavy in a natal chart conjunct the sun or the moon, you can wait for a very long time. That can lead to you waiting for a very long time for things like a basic emotional fulfillment, or you being able to continue with your life path, which is the sun. To give you another example, I have Saturn square the ascendant, and right now as I'm going my Saturn return, I can see how this aspect has essentially in many ways been blocking and causing friction in the basic in one of the basic traits of my life path, which is in Libra in Vishaka Nakshatra, which is basically cooperating, teaming up with people on both personal, romantic and friendship level. So Saturn there has delayed this and has made it difficult, and while of course still giving you the desire to achieve that result. So as I have said here, you have the piles, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 and pile 4, or more like rune 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in this reading we're going to see exactly in depth how, according to each pile, you have to pay off your karma, what is the best approach you can get with your karma, and what tools, what gifts did you receive from and what gifts did you receive also from the universe in order to be able to deal with that karma. Remember, we never go into this life, into our challenges empty-handed. We always have the necessary tools to deal with whatever obstacles we may face, to deal with whatever is difficult. So even when something is very hard, you will always get some support, you will always get something in order to be able to go through this process. Now I'm going to now shuffle the cards, so those of you who are interested in seeing me shuffle for the piles, go ahead. Those of you who are not, you can skip directly to your pile down in the timestamps. Also, if you want a more in-depth look at how Saturn and how karma is going to work personally in your natal chart, I offer private readings. You can find the links to my Etsy shop down below, and also you can find the links to my social media profiles, which include my free writing on my Facebook and my Tumblr community page, where I also answer community questions. I was on a bit of a break recently because of physical apartment moves in my personal life. However, I still do private readings because I give priority to those who decide to give me their energy through Etsy. Thank you so much for that. It keeps my work going. Nevertheless, even if you can't afford to do it right now, you still have an access to a whole lot of free writing, free articles about various subjects when it comes to astrology, numerology, spirituality and tarot. I recently completed a very long series about the natal birth card, which includes a mix of numerology, tarot and spirituality. These articles are very precise, very informative, and they are available for you guys completely for free. Now enough of the basic information. Let's get to it. See you in your pile. I'm going to shuffle now. Those of you who want to stay for the shuffling, have fun with the ASMR. Those of you who want to jump directly to the reading, see you there. Okay, so I'm just going to grab whatever is under my hand because there are a lot of cards and they take a lot of space on my desk. This is the Rebecca Campbell Your Light Oracle. Going to shuffle it for the piles. Here we have the Oracle Starseed. Or is it the Starseed Oracle? I don't know, because it's not in English. The Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell too. More practical. Okay, well, sometimes this happens. Sometimes the cards really want to be somewhere, and when that happens, I listen. This is the Mausolea Oracle of Souls. This is the Yogic Path deck. I'm going to open it like this every time because I love it so much. This one actually takes reversals, so I have to do this. This is the Fairy Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Okay, so the shuffling is done. Yet again, we have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can now pause, meditate, breathe in, and breathe out, and pick the pile that is right for you. See you in your reading. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. The rune you chose is Peor. This rune has some Jupiterian vibes, so you may have Saturn in Sagittarius, Saturn in Pisces, so expecting your Jupiter or Saturn in the 9th, 12th house. Then the cards we have is Silence, the Emperor in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, King of Swords. Hope you can see this well. Satya. Here we have exercise. A healthy spirit resides in a healthy body. I don't know if this deck has reversals, I don't think so. The Mad Prophet, the Keeper of Whispers. Curiosity, madness, forbidden knowledge. See, I told you, Jupiter, for knowledge. The Star Mother. How can you surround yourself with motherly care? For some of you, I have seen this this combo of Jupiter conjunct Moon conjunct Saturn, which if you have that, good luck to you, must be a hard combo. Then we have a starseed full of empathy, energetic independence, absorbing what is not yours. Yeah, major Saturn in 12th house or Saturn in Pisces vibes. And here we have the Silence. And the Emperor in reverse. So the overall picture I see here, pile 1, is that this karma reminds me a little bit of myself, honestly. Now you bring forth with yourself, with your karma, major 12th house vibes here. You bring with yourself a gift of empathy, a gift of natural enlightenment, this natural sixth sense that you have when you have 12 house planets, maybe even a stellium. You may also even have 8th house planets, because the 8th house also is very strong in occult. It's very strong in the unknown and the unseen. And it is your karma to use this gift, pile 1. But it also is your karma to learn how to draw boundaries and make the right decisions from the headspace with this King of Swords. And also to use your knowledge for the right reasons. And to remember not to neglect your physical body, because the advice we have for you here is begin to exercise. And if you have Saturn in the 12th house or aspecting the 12th house or in Pisces, your karma may be that it is difficult for you to get into the matters of the physical body. So take this card with a pinch of salt, because hardcore exercise routine is not for everyone. I know myself, I have Mars and Cancer, that this kind of thing is absolutely not my... it's just not something that's even good for me. Although I used to go to the gym, and I prefer other exercises such as being out in nature, or I used to go to dance class, which I preferred much more to the traditional workout routines, because I like to be able to go with the flow, and any workout routines start boring me within 5 seconds, and I find myself unable to stick to them. But this card is very red, is the color of the root chakra. The advice here that can help you with your karma is to ground yourself and pay attention to your physical body, and to see how it manifests in improving the power and the condition of your spirit. So it may be a karmic difficulty for you that you, for example, might be lazy, or you might feel like neglecting your physical body. This card also could try to tell you to pay more attention to physical matters like your appearance, especially if you're a woman. A part of unlocking your divine feminine motherly care here is to nourish and appreciate your physical body, because your body is a temple, and in a healthy body resides a healthy spirit. So it is your karmic responsibility to take care of this body. If you have Saturn in the 12th house, it could somehow involve the sun, or maybe it could be close to your ascendant, even if it is in the 12th house. Here we have the star with the star mother. How can you care for yourself? I feel like the way of caring for yourself here is paying more attention to your body. I keep saying this. The reason also why this advice is being given to you is that you have the Lovers in reverse. Now, the Lovers is not just a romantic card. This is a card ruled by Venus. If you visit my blog or my Facebook page, I wrote a whole article about the number 6 numerologically and its association with the Lovers card. This is a card of balance, the card of union, the card of harmony. So the Lovers in reverse points to some sort of conflict that I feel is internal, a conflict and an internal imbalance. And the way you balance yourself is through grounding yourself in the physical body. And the other card that we have here is silence. Because as an empath, you may be giving, and feeling like you need to be around people all the time to give to them. Yet you also need to rest, pile 1. Let your mind rest. In the silence, you find soothing, peace, and rest. And this to me goes hand in hand with this Emperor card. The Emperor here is in reverse because this is the vice versa tarot. See, he's showing us his back. This is the up front, this is the back. So with the Emperor in reverse, the Emperor rules the logical mind. So the silence card, somehow I think maybe, again with this Saturn that can have this Jupiterian influences, Jupiter is the great giver. So it may be your karmic task to give to people, which is something I feel that was put inside you during your upbringing, during your formative years, that you have to keep being available to people. Starseeds also often have that urge that they carry through life. But this Saturn is going to be balanced by you making the right logical decision when to turn away, when to turn off the social mask, the social facade, and go hibernate. Now, the warning that I see here is that due to some sort of frustration, instead of really looking for recovery and this balance that is being called for here, you might try to use your energy negatively Here again we have madness and this Emperor in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. This is the card of balance. Now, madness is a very strong word, but I feel like you may basically go up and down and be a really good person 1 second and then take it out on the next person because you did not set up boundaries properly with the first person. So you give to one person, yet you take from another one. This is basically you, instead of going into the rest mode and really taking care of yourself, this is you staying imbalanced and doing things that may seem extremely irrational to people, which is, in truth, is a reflection of the chaos you have within yourself. So this is a karmic warning that, again, I'm seeing those 8th house, 12th house vibes, that if you do not balance yourself, if you do not ground, if you do not reconnect with the natural law, like the Power tells you to, with your gifts, your coping mechanism is to run around crazily and not everything in order to avoid the chaos you carry internally. You need to cut through this chaos very sharply. Hey, I have a mini sword here. It's a mini amethyst sword. Pew. Jokes aside, there is a warning for you that you need to balance out your need for giving, your need for replenishment. You need to make very tough mental decisions as to who to give to. Sometimes it's very difficult if we are, let's say, raised with toxic family members and we don't know any better because we are used to what they represent and who they are. Yet those very family members may be toxic to us. So this card really calls for sharp judgment, that even if this is your biological family and they're not good to you, don't hesitate to cut them off if they are causing you to be unbalanced. If you're a starseed, then you have a soul family, so you will not be alone in this life. Don't worry, you will find your soul tribe. But you need to care for yourself. You need to ground in the physical body and make tough mental decisions in order to be able to balance maybe some Libra energy, in order to balance your need to give and your need to ground in this material realm. Now let's read the booklet for Satya. A concept from yoga. Truthfulness. You are moving toward your truth, peeling off all layers of inauthenticity that have been placed upon you by social conditioning. Through this shedding, you are finally feeling truth's bare skin as you place your fingers upon your face, finally coming home to yourself. This truth, Satya, has been dormant inside you all along, waiting until your awakening. Through this process of understanding, unlearning, and evolving, you become a body, awakened person. Continue to step into this new paradigm of truth as you shed all false beliefs, narratives, and stories, so you can emerge as your true self. Ask yourself, where and how can I show up more authentically in my life? What makes me feel like I'm living in my truth? Are my relationships in alignment with who I am at this moment? What masks am I still wearing to make me feel loved, secure, or significant? See, this is what I'm saying, that instead of allowing yourself this stillness, silence, and aloneness, you may be running amok and turning into low behaviors because you don't want to make those difficult mental decisions. Saturn may be very heavy in your chart, I feel, pile 1. But this pile says that you should allow this transformation that's apparently happening for you right now to take place. Allow yourself the silence, allow yourself to ground, and allow yourself to pick people that are good for you, no matter how irrational this may seem. Intuitively, you know. Because these choices, the status quo that you're stuck with, is driving you crazy. It's making you unbalanced. And it has taken away your power to actually have achievements in the material world, the power that you possess. But this is not sustainable anymore for you, pile 1. This is a heavy karma because there's a lot of contradictory energy here. Again, I feel Libra, maybe Libra rising even, because Libra energy is this energy of contradiction. But this contradiction is happening because you're repressing a part of yourself and you're wearing a mask in front of people while there's a self inside you that's waiting, that's looking to come out. Don't be afraid to be this true self, pile 1. This is your karma, to be your true self. And the armor, the weapon that you have, is the sword of truth. You have a very good mental capacity, pile 1, but I feel like when something becomes uncomfortable, you blind yourself to this truth to feel secure. But until you make the right decisions, you never will feel safe. Saturn is requiring you, again, Jupiter, that's also the right spiritual judgment. Saturn is requiring of you to make the right spiritual judgment, pile 1. This is a tough call to make, but you have the right instincts to do so. You know what choices to make. This is the intuitive gift that you have. You may give excellent advice to people and yet struggle yourself. Use the advice that you know you would give to someone else to yourself, pile 1. And good luck with your karma. Thank you so much for listening to this reading and for staying with me till the end. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want a private reading, an individual reading about your own astrology chart or about your own individual questions you have, you can find the links to all my social media and my Etsy shop down below. And you can also find the links to my writing, to all my articles. See you guys. Bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So your pile chose the Soul Ruler rune, which is the Sun rune, but also the rune of the lightning bolt, the thunderbolt, the rune of power, kind of like a Thor vibes, the god Thor, you know, like in the Avengers movies. It's a very powerful rune. And the cards we have are Faith, the Four of Swords, Upright, I believe. This is Upright, yes. Or is it in reverse? This is the Vice Versa Tarot. This is hard to see. No, this is the Four of Swords in reverse. The Page of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Be assertive, defend your beliefs and say yes only when you really want to. Pratyahara, Arthur, the Champion of Avalon, companionship, nobility, self-realization. Dance, do something to change your vibration. And emptiness, stop, accept the winter, the big cosmic womb. So pile 2, I see that you are a very powerful person. First of all, we have this rune, which is one of the, you know, like Thor, if you have seen any of the mainstream media fiction, he's like, you know, the big guy. Then we have Arthur here as your card, and be assertive. So I feel like you may have Saturn in the first house. Saturn conjunct Sun, or Saturn aspecting your ascendant, Saturn aspecting your Sun, or aspecting your Mars, or in Aries or Scorpio. Something aspecting your self-expression, your courage, maybe Saturn in the third house. Something aspecting something pushing you to be more who you are. I feel like, well, especially if you have Saturn in the first house, you may have gone through something like depression. And I see a bit of a torn energy here. This is funny because it happens similarly in the first pile. I feel like this reading is kind of has this duality. Well, Saturn does exalt in Libra, so it makes sense that this reading has this dual nature to it. On one hand, you feel the need to rest. On the other hand, you feel the need for action because you are the Champion of Avalon. And the other card we have here is Faith. Do not lose faith. The faith strengthens when you act without knowing the end result. So there's a part of you that wants to act, wants to trigger the change in your life, to change your vibration. But there's a part of you that is tired. And I feel like there may be a little bit of a conflict here with this Four of Swords in reverse. Because the part of you that wants to act reproaches the part of you that wants to rest. The part of you that is the champion he wants to see the immediate goal of his fight, of his actions. The other part of you needs to rest. And then there's the Nine of Pentacles, which shows us the hopelessness that you may be discouraged by the weight that Saturn has put on you. In some way, Saturn may be blocking you quite closely. Maybe if, for example, Saturn is aspecting your Sun, and the degrees are quite close, less than 10, or even less than 5. This may be quite a battle in your life, and this may delay your the results of your work quite a lot, which can lead to a lot of frustration. And that can make you give up. And when you give up, you kind of may just go with the flow. Saturn in the first house can be self-effacing in public and then deal with everything in private, which is why these cards are pushing you to be assertive and express yourself. And they also call you to believe in your true strength and who you are, but without closing your heart. The Page of Cups is an emotional invitation to reconnect with your inner child and your inner sensitivity. I feel like you've been quite through a lot of battles, Pile 2, and you may not have come out of them with a lot of success so far. You may have had to wait for the result. You might have felt not validated. But there is a time for everyone. The time comes for everyone. There's a time for everyone, if they only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in turn. There's a rhyme and reason to the wild outdoors, when the heart of this star-crossed voyager beats in time with yours. This is what I heard very randomly. I'm not gonna sing the chorus because it's not relevant, but that's why you got the Faith card and the Dance card. There is a need for you here to blend assertive action and spontaneity with emotional faith expression and belief that your life as a journey itself has meaning. The Four of Swords is a card of being locked away, and there is a part of you that's rushing forward. It wants to be the champion, it wants to dance, it wants to be assertive, and there's a part of you that's scared. I feel like there may be some significant childhood wounds here that you're healing, Pile 2. And these wounds are blocking you while there's a part of you that wants to keep going. You need to find the balance in your routine when you have downtime and you don't have to deal with anyone, and when you go out. But then when you go out, you're assertive and you're yourself, and you don't have to explain to anyone why you do what you do, as long as you feel in your heart that what you're doing is right. Saturn teaches us, karma teaches us that you never want to do the right thing. I feel like one of your karmic things here, Pile 2, was to wait, that you had to wait to see the fruit of your labor, that it wasn't that easy for you to get it. But I feel partially you may have self-sabotaged, because if you're not assertive, you're letting everyone around you walk over you. And if you're letting everyone around you walk over you, these people will not allow you to realize your manifestations, because remember, the champion is self-realized. Sure, there is companionship, but he is the leader in this duo. Even if there is a duo, he is in an assertive, protective position. He is not someone who just goes along to get along. Yet, he has an open heart. I feel like I need to pull a clarification card for you, Pile 2. I didn't feel the need for Pile 1, but I feel like you guys need it for some reason. Oops, my many decks have moved. It's like quicksand. You pull one card, they all fall. Yeah. We got the World, Universe, and the Magician popping out. Manifestation power. You need to believe in your manifestation power. My hands are feeling weak and shaky. You might really struggle with self-belief, Saturn in the first house, yet have the need to act. You we got the World and it flipped. Oh, this is so funny. This card is telling you to open yourself up more. This is the Faith, because the World is a Jupiterian card. You need to believe more, Pile 2. You need to believe that there's an infinite world of possibilities and there's completion waiting for you if you just do the right thing, if you come out with who you really are, but allow yourself to rest, play, and feel at the same time. I kind of feel like you either rest and get emotional when you're by yourself, or you go out into the world and then you get this completely different person. I used to do that when I was younger, so I feel you, pile 2. No, you have to go out with your heart and with your faith as your sword. You may, and you need to, come back to regenerate. But I feel like you put on a mask, pile 2. Well, if you have Saturn aspecting the ascendant, the sun, or the first house, it can happen. You need to take off this mask and allow yourself to be just you, even if it's hard. Now, let's read from the booklet about the Pratyahara card. Pratyahara, control of the senses. Recently, you have let go of some distractions in your life and everything has upgraded since. You have realized that holding on to things, foods, stimulants, or people only keeps you anchored to the physical world. Truth lies in letting go of all that is not you. The daily coffee, piece of chocolate, social media addiction, or need to buy, those were once such a part of your identity but now have diminished. This is the time to go deeper into Pratyahara and let go of any attachments, even those that are less obvious. Continue to meditate, which draws you immediately into Pratyahara and illuminates what it is that you are holding on to. It is only from here that you can listen to the truth within and act accordingly. So the important piece of advice here is that you keep the faith by going inside and soul searching and asking yourself more specifically, why am I so afraid to come out? So if you have any childhood wounds pertaining to your self-expression and your assertiveness, you have to go inside and ask yourself about them, meditate on them. And that will allow you to shed the layers of your false self and become more you. And that will lead to the material success and the position that you so crave. Because Saturn in the first house is ambitious in their own humble way. But you can only realize your ambitions if you're coming from an authentic place, not if you're people-pleasing. So if you are people-pleasing, if you struggle with assertiveness and with faith, ask yourself why. I offer private readings if you need help in identifying your childhood wounds. We could look at them more closely if this is what you feel like you need to do. It would definitely benefit you well, pile 2. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. Thank you for listening to your reading. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can find the links to my other social media down below. You can find links to my Facebook and Tumblr where you can find my free writing. Or like I said, you can also visit my Etsy shop where I offer different kinds of private readings if you want to look more closely into your karma, into Saturn in your chart. See you guys, bye. Hello pile 3 and welcome to your reading. The rune you have is Northeast, which is very Saturnian, very karmic in its expression, because it's a rune of necessity and friction and conflict and contrast. So you may have Saturn very strong in your chart, or you may even have a Capricorn, Aquarius, rising sun, or moon, or stellium. Now let's look at your cards. We have the 6 of Cups, upright. We have the 6 of Pentacles, a lot of sixes, huh? And we have the 8 of Swords. Spirit guide. Your life goals are related to showing your knowledge about healing and spirituality. Hey, high five. And we have the Dhumvati in reverse. Anubis, arbiter of truth. Preservation, neutrality, obligation. Again, Saturnian vibes. The big cut. Mars energy, anger, conflict, soothe to love. The ever unfolding rose. With fully open petals, it happens for you, not to you. And the card that we have here is the passage of time. You deserve to have your own life. Plan your time so you have a moment just to yourself. Wow, okay. And with the 8 of Swords and everything. This pile definitely is someone who has been trying to do their best with Saturn, yet you may feel burdened or tired or just drained. This is another pile that's very starseedy. There was also another pile before that had the starseed vibes. But if you have the spirit guide card, it is your job to become the spirit guide to others. And God knows I understand how difficult can that be and how draining can that be. but you also need to have your own life. So you deserve to have a moment for yourself. Allow yourself to rest. I feel like you may have Saturn somewhere again very heavy, to the point where you feel emotionally obligated to do the right thing always, and you do not give enough to yourself, because here we have this Anubis, which is he's very neutral. He's concerned with preservation and obligation, which is again very Saturn vibes. This is a good expression of Saturn, guys. You may be also life path 8s, because this is a very Saturnian life path, or have 8 in somewhere in your numerology chart. But I feel like in this relentless pursuit of your duty of fulfilling your karma, you have not had enough for yourself. And you also might have closed off your heart, pile 3. Because here we have the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, truth and to love. So what's happening right now for you, pile 3, is that I feel like you have really paid off your karma, and you have some blessings coming in with the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. This is a very good card of harmony and stability, both financial, practical, and emotional. This card is a sign of people and events, and also maybe some work offers coming into your life that want to give as well as receive. But you might be suspicious. You might have been closed off in this energy, also with the 8 of Swords. This opposing energy, you felt like you had to fight and just do the right thing for so long, that when these opportunities come, you may have a hard time opening yourself up to them. That's why this says soothing to love. Now, your karma here, you may have Saturn conjunct Moon, honestly, because this is the vibe that I'm getting. Your vibe here is to forgive yourself, for your past and your hurt, because it says this is happening for you and not to you. So there's a need for understanding here that all the difficulties that you've had, all the pain and troubles that you have had, they exist for your spiritual growth. They are not a punishment. They are not a punishment that you had to go through. Their gifts for you to truly appreciate the harmony that's awaiting you right now. I feel like you're a very, very formidable person, pile 3, with this strong Saturn, with this Anubis card. Always doing the right thing, always trying to stay neutral, maybe not to get too swayed by certain things, trying to be this light for others, but as a result you may really have closed yourself to intimacy with other people, which is coming for you right now. And also not allowed your heart to give it enough time to fully heal from whatever blows you may have had. We all do. And to be that closed off, you must have had some blows. You might have carried some burdens, which made you into, like I said, formidable person, but also somebody who really struggles to believe in the healthy balance of give and receive. Maybe you're the kind of person who doesn't come to anyone for help even when they need it very desperately. Maybe you are also trying to pull it on your own financially, even when you would really need a friend to lend you some money because you don't want to burden anyone. You need to learn how to open up, pile 3, and also you need to learn how to rest and not always be available, not always be so dutiful. I feel like you have paid off your karma, maybe not 100%, but in a very large part. And it was your duty, I feel like, to have this burden in the earlier part of your life. And right now, as you have learned how to be this dutiful person, how to face this opposition, how to be mentally disciplined, like with the 8 of Swords, you need to learn how to balance that with opening up to the good things that are going to happen to you as karmic rewards. And you need to, because you are someone who is supposed to be guiding people. And if you are someone who is supposed to be guiding people, you can't do that with your heart closed. If you are someone who is supposed to transmit knowledge about healing, psychological or emotional or spiritual, you can't do it if your heart is not open, because then you will miss the lessons that you need to give to others. Opening your heart is the last karmic duty that you have to fulfill, pile 3. Now let's look at your yogic oracle card. We have Dhumvati in reverse, which makes me feel like you may be somehow resistant to this lesson that I just mentioned. Even though, ironically, I think you've done very well with the karma. This last bit of it, this emotional bit, may be challenging for you, so you may be slightly resisting it. Dhumvati. Goddess of disappointment and letting go. What did I say? Reverse. Letting go is not always a bad thing when you know it's making space for something better. Dhumvati is the pain and the struggle that makes you who you are. She is the phase right before enlightenment when you experience the void. She is your shadow self, the thing you didn't want to look at even though it is a core part of who you are. She is moving past the illusion, Maya, looking life and death right in the eye and seeing they are both sides of the same coin. Know that Dhumvati is guiding you through this difficult time and your highest self awaits you on the other side. So yeah, this is the struggle that I'm seeing. I feel like you are really afraid of getting hurt again, pile 3. And now that this equal give and take, financial and emotional, is appearing to you as an offer, you may not know what to do. You have to toughen it out just for a little bit longer. I think this reading is really trying to tell you that you've done well. This is a very encouraging reading. And it's saying that fairness and justice and equality and reciprocity is coming to you. Remember to trust the universe and to open your heart. And don't be afraid to have time for yourself, pile 3. You've done really great, honestly. This is a karma reading, and I feel this lightness when I do your pile. I feel like this pile may be shorter even than the other ones, because like when you get to this point, you will feel really light. You have done so well. I applaud you, whoever you are, pile 3. Thank you so much for listening to this reading, guys. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Please also, if you're interested in a private reading, check out the link to my Etsy shop down below my video, and you can also find links to my Facebook page and my Tumblr blog where I answer community questions, and you can find links to my free articles. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. So the rune you got is Tewaz, which is the rune of the divine masculine. It's the upward pointing arrow, which is supposed to be a phallic symbol, but also a symbol for divine masculine and also victory. So you may have Saturn in Aries, something Saturn conjunct Mars, especially Saturn in the first house or in the third house. Something pertaining to your divine masculine. Maybe Saturn also conjunct Sun or Jupiter, because these are all divine masculine cards. So we have the world, but the world is in reverse. We have meditation. Take a small step back and listen to the voice of your soul. We have the high... my god, this is the Hierophant. What is this? Sorry, this deck is not in Polish. We have the Hierophant. We have express yourself. Let your real you shine, because you are amazing. We have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. We have Brahma in reverse. We have Thanatos. Completion, support, expediency. We have lifting the curtain, questioning everything that which is not in tune must leave. And we have no, wait, move it for later, stop, say no. Wow, okay, this is painting quite a picture, quite a complete one, also quite a coherent picture. So I feel like your karma was to really exercise some divine masculine traits, pile 4, which means that you may have been shouldering a burden for everyone. Again, I see Saturn conjunct Sun here for you. I feel like this karma reading is going to attract people who are very heavy in Saturn in their charts, and this is why this reading is for them, because this placement has been reappearing in a way. So in this way, you are really a formidable person, a person with tradition that has some internal spiritual principles and knows how to obey when it's right, knows how to follow, but also be the leader through the application of these rules. But there are changes coming for you, pile 4. You need to open yourself up. This is your problem. We have the world in reverse. When we have the world in reverse, we are not open to the limitless possibilities that the universe wants to give to us. And this closing off is keeping you in the 5 of Pentacles cycle. You feel surrounded, maybe even stuck somehow. Maybe you are feeling like you're stuck in an arrangement, a marriage, a job, a relationship, in a family situation that you can't get out of. But this is going to change. I feel like this is the universe giving you some opportunity, and that's why we have say no. You need to take care of yourself now, pile 4. I feel this very urgently. I feel like maybe you're such a rule-following, such an abiding person that you may even have made some mistakes along the way because of it. The old rules somehow no longer apply anymore. Some cycle is ending for you. And you're a very supportive person, yet there are something, you may be really rigid in your mentality. Maybe you also have Saturn in the second house, and some heavy second house energy. Because here we have lifting the curtain, questioning everything that is not in tune must leave. There are some things you're going to have to say no to and let go of. I see this very strongly for you. This is going to get you unstuck. And the reason why this is happening to you is because you being so hard on yourself in this masculine energy is not letting you to fully express yourself. See, all of us, regardless of our gender, we have both the divine masculine and divine feminine side. Even if you're a man and you have such a strong divine masculine, that's great. You need to also exercise your divine feminine, because if you do not work on your divine feminine, you're going to attract women in your life that are going to express that and reflect that back to you. A truly strong man is in tune with his divine feminine, pile 4. And I feel like through this traditional rule following, never saying no to certain things, you have lost yourself a little bit. And here, this pile is telling you to express who you truly are from the heart. That happens by you saying no to the wrong things, purging what is not wrong, and opening yourself up to limitless possibilities. And maybe letting go a little bit of some stiff rules that you are holding on to. And not always helping everyone when they ask for it, and taking time for yourself, pausing, meditating, taking a step back and listening to what your soul truly wants. Because masculine energy is very go, 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 go. But lately you might have felt like even though you're running, you haven't really gotten anywhere. You may be feeling like you're stuck. Like, I'm trying to achieve, I'm running towards the achievements, why is nothing happening? Because you may not be going in the right direction at all, pile 4. You may be going in circles because you're not seeing the bigger picture, and because you're not being yourself, and because you're saying yes to the wrong things, and you're not purging. I feel like the universe is going to purge for you, whether you like it or not. Be prepared for this. Take a step back and ask yourself what you truly want, so you can get what you want, so you can be in the right place in this new phase of your life. Now let's read for the Brahma in reverse. I feel like you guys are going to get an extra card too. Not all the piles got one, but you need one. Brahma is also the highest god. Again, this divine masculine energy in reverse. You might have been too much go, go, go and not really looking at your true feelings. And now that's going to have to change. The universe is going to push you to do it. Brahma is the god of creation. When you are not creating, you are dying. Brahma comes to you with the reminder to remain in the cycle of creation, for that is the cycle of life. All things are in phases: work, relationships, even identities. When we forgo working on these aspects of our life, we remain stagnant, which is akin to moving backwards. What areas of your life have you been overlooking? Yourself, pile 4. How can you put in more time and effort to create a new version of what there formerly was? How can you recreate yourself to become a more authentic version of you? Trust that you have the wisdom and knowledge to move forward. I repeat, how can you recreate yourself to become a more authentic version of you? Express yourself. Authenticity. This is very much repeating itself here, as you can see. I'm going to pull one more tarot for you from this deck. I haven't done this before in this reading yet, but I feel like we need to. See, these cards are really saying the same thing. There is something inauthentic you need to walk away from, something you need to say no to, something you need to look at from a bigger perspective, and it's going to get you unstuck. I think maybe like even financially you have been worried. Oh, this card, I wanted to say hi. However, we do not know if it's in reverse or not. Just tell us, card. How about I take it for a spin? Okay, well, that was very helpful. That was even more helpful. Okay, let it be this way. Look, we have the world again, and the world is upright, but that is your choice. Pile 4. The world is yours, either which way you want it. Wow, this is the first time this happened where we have two decks, the same card. Amazing. I love when this happens, when you have like 3 different tarot decks and at least 2 out of 3 say the same card. That is like a very strong message. You need to open yourself up. Let me even read here, the world. Finding your place in life, material success, happiness, joy, reward, self-awareness, finding your life purpose, your worth, maturity. There is a call for spiritual maturity here, pile 4. I feel like you have the practical maturity already, but the spiritual maturity can only come when you open yourself up, because the world in reverse is stagnation, retreating from the world, being closed in yourself, a trap with no way out, 5 of Pentacles, and this trap has materialized for you. It has. I feel like you may have been stuck for quite some time, pile 4. You may have been stuck for quite some time, and now the world is opening up. Now it is your choice. If you will purge and say no to the wrong things, and you will go out into the world, or if you will venture out and stay stuck. But remember, no matter how scared you are, this is going to end up well. If you have the world in your reading, this is going to be fine. And especially here we have the Hierophant, number 5, and we have the 5 also of Pentacles. The 5 is a number of change, and we are right now in a 5 universal year, 5 month. This may even happen if you are, this is an evergreen pick a card reading, so anytime you're watching it, but when I'm filming it, this may be even the moment when you're experiencing some changes, which is why this reading is necessary. Open yourself up, pile 4. Do not close your world. There is something waiting for you behind the door, which you might not even expect how great it is. Don't be stubborn, pile 4. I feel like you may be stubborn with this Hierophant. They can be very self-sufficient, very stubborn, think that he knows everything. He can be very by the book. You have to let go of these traditions a little bit and only keep what works for you. Transform into who you truly are. Like this Brahma card said, express yourself. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end of this reading, you guys. I hope that I brought you some answers that you needed. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card readings and for more spiritual content. If you go to my links down below, you can find a link to my Etsy shop in case you're interested in private reading with me, a private tarot or astrology reading. You can also find the links to my Facebook page and my Tumblr community page where I answer questions, and you can also find access to my free writing on those portals. Thank you so much, guys. See you. Bye.